Hey guys, this is ScoutCat18, and today we're going to do a review of the Ed, Eddy specials. Jingle, jingle, jangle. Eddy is tired of receiving nothing but clothes for Christmas and decides to attempt getting adopted by the cul-de-sac kid's parents. Ed and Double D are upset by this decision and want to sway Eddy to the correct path after a stray light bulb is placed in Eddy's pocket. The first stop is Johnny, who reveals his family's tradition of bringing the snow and ice inside to thank Mother Nature. Plank gets wise to Eddy's ploy and is sent on his way via an ice slide. Rolf is next and explains his Christmas tradition of Yeshmayek with a very catchy song.
Than rocks there lives a bearded maiden fair, whose kitchen pot is bigger than her size of underwear. Hey! Yes, my egg peels the root and grinds the sausage with her foot. Yes, my egg cures the meat and starts the fruits and sugar beet. Yes, my egg will sauce it for me.
Eddy is turned away when he realizes Rolf receives no presents, and heads over to Naz, who is the only one to welcome him, but blows the deal fairly quickly. Simultaneously, the Cankers are opening Christmas crackers when they see a shine of light, in actuality Eddy's flashlight, and set off on a journey that has them find mold, fur, and frankincense. See what they're doing there? Double D sets up a trap that Eddy falls for and lectures him dressed as an angel. Eddy has no time for this, takes the cardboard wings, and strolls over to Jimmy's. Jimmy believes the angel story and shows off a beautiful and delectable Christmas village. He leaves to go to the bathroom, and less than 10 seconds later, Eddy has consumed the entire display. Eddy only has a Hail Mary left, Kevin. He gives him a bogus story about his parents being captured and having their toenails forced off. What? Left alone, he walks away forlorn into a giant field and finds a lone Christmas tree. He places the bulb found earlier in his pocket into the light, and it glows beautifully and all the denizens notice. Everyone rejoices until they hear a jolly voice and find a sack of presents which Eddy takes for himself, in addition to all three being trapped in Rolf's shed by the Cankers. I really do like this one. Even if the endings can be kind of weird at times, it really is a pretty funny one that talks about Christmas, even if we already had a Christmas-themed episode. So, yeah. A good return, you know? Next is Ed, Edd n Eddy's Hanky Panky Hullabaloo. We open on a school, strangely enough, and we see May Kanker writing a valentine for Ed, which her sisters mock her for. A Cupid, Sarah, and Jimmy appear discussing the wonders of the holiday in rhyme. The trio are walking down the hall, with Ed being scared of girls, Double D excited for a new experience, and Eddy making a kiss the hunk stand. Oh my gosh. Kevin interrupts and yells at them to get to class on time. Double D comes across May crying in the janitor's closet and graciously offers her a valentine originally meant for Naz. Nice detail. May is hit by a Cupid arrow, causing her to fall in love with Double D. In chemistry class, she shows off her prowess, and somehow he is smitten as well. Rolf somehow is able to acknowledge the cherub clone's presence. Gym class approaches with boys climbing rope and girls playing badminton. Double D is injured by Ed, and May tends to him. At this point, Lee and Marie discover the infatuation, leading to increased anger in art class after they exchange notes. Eddy, Ed, Marie, and Lee confront each other at lunchtime when the two lovebirds enter the cafeteria, and it explodes in a food fight. Rolf squeezes lemons into his eyes, my god, to witness and defeat the Cupid creatures once and for all after they pair up random denizens.
Happy Valentine's, Dreamboat.
You're so righteous, babe.
For you, Foxy Mama. What a hug.
The entire 22 minutes is a brilliant exercise in the cliches and tropes of Valentine's specials in its own unique Ed, and Eddy way. Ed, and Eddy's Boo Ha Ha! Ed has been sitting at home watching his monster movies for hours when the other two enter ready for Halloween night. But this isn't any old Halloween, as Eddy has acquired a treasure map from his brother leading to Spookyville. All three set off on their journey as Lothar, the bubonic plague, and zombie Elvis. But Lumpy is having disturbing visions of the neighborhood kids because of his overexposure to creature features, witnessing such things as Naz as a Gorgon, Kevin as the Headless Horseman, and Jimmy as an alien. Through sheer coincidence, the damage Lothar causes actually goes along with Eddy's map, such as the bent stop sign. An abandoned hearse appears before them, again, just as the map says. Next, a giant arthropod hovers before them, and is the only creature not immediately pummeled, as in reality, it's Johnny in a spider outfit, who gives them directions in exchange for some of Jimmy's candy. The final kid is Rolf, a nighttime mushroom harvester mistaken for a barbaric cyclops. The journey to Spookyville is finally completed, but in reality was not but a circle leading back to the cul-de-sac. Each denizen is angered over Lothar's actions and follow the trio into a hole to beat the other two Eds up while Ed just sits there seeing only joyful cavorting. Yeah, the ending is pretty weird of this one. I mean, they know it was just Ed. Why are they beating up Double D and Eddy? I don't really understand that ending. But, well, I'm not saying it really excuses it, but I have heard that this is Danny Antonucci's favorite episode just because of how fun it was to work on, and I can understand that. The Eds are coming! The Eds are coming! Jimmy is in a magical land where his stuffed animals prance with him. Caterpillars function as choo-choos. He is beloved by all the kids in the cul-de-sac. The Eds are spanked by a giant doll, and Sarah plants roses with every step she takes. But then, the sky turns dark, and a giant saw comes between them. Worm-like tentacles then become rigid, sink into and pull up the ground, with Jimmy falling to his doom as he wakes up to Sarah's voice. Jimmy gets a postcard from Nebraska, leading to a flashback. Sarah has Jimmy go play outside, but his nightmare seems to have left an impact on him. Things are not helped when Johnny and Plank freak out about aliens at Rolf's house, with a mysterious sunburn on his face. Rolf's house seems to be emitting large amounts of heat, melting the surrounding snow, followed by a gigantic ball of cheese flying out the chimney. Inside is Ed, who tells a horrific story. Double D is left at Ed's room to gather clues from his comics when a mysterious noise compels him to leave immediately. Yeah, that's never explained, and I kinda love it. A base is erected, and Kevin leads the effort with anti-alien blaster and other forms of weaponry. At Rolf's, they each boldly give it their all to protect the home of the son of a shepherd. A gift is offered in the form of Naz, tied to 2 lampposts with a gigantic bow around her head. An octopus-like creature exits with a green mist around him. None other than Rolf himself, explaining that he has his relatives over for an old country function. All are invited, but it seems only Double D is willing. In the last shot, we see Naz forlorn as the entire cul-de-sac is lifted into space by a giant spaceship. Again, no explanation for that, just okay.